Mark Capadona, Colonial Power Group. We're the consultant that helped Easton through the process of municipal aggregation.
Denise Howard, also from Colonial Power Group.
So today we're here to talk to you about your electricity bill, and what I believe by the end of the call you're going to see as an excellent program that the city has set up on behalf of its residents. So I'm going to talk to you today first. I'm going to talk about a local process and then a state process. Then I'm going to get into how it actually affected you. So way back in 2016, it was Article 20 on the town meeting. The town passed municipal aggregation as a concept. The Board of Selectmen passed a plan in April of 2017, and in March of 2020, the town signed off on a contract to begin in November. The winning supplier was Dynergy Energy Services, and the rate will be at 10,287. This is a very competitive rate, which I'll get into shortly. But I want to just talk to you about what you're going to see and how it's going to affect you. So we're talking about on your electricity bill, National Grid is your electricity company. They'll still deliver the bill. So all the things that you're used to dealing with National Grid on, you're going to continue to deal with National Grid. So if you have a billing question, you're going to speak to National Grid. You have a problem with your power out, National Grid. All the same services that you're used to receiving from National Grid. Say you're a low-income customer, or you have budget billing, you have automatic withdrawal, any of those issues you might have. You might also have a net metering contract with National Grid. All of those programs stay in place. They work mutually exclusive of aggregation. So everything will dovetail perfectly. You don't need to worry about any of that. It all stays in place because on the bill, National Grid is still going to administer all of those programs for you. This is the single line item that is on the supply portion of your bill. Your bill is made up of two sections. Up top is transmission and distribution, and down below is supply. What we're talking about today and what Easton has done is procured supply on your behalf. When I say on your behalf, I'm saying to you is if you're on this call and you're a basic service customer receiving supply from Eversource, you're someone that should have received a mailing in the mail over the last week or so for an opt-out municipal aggregation. All the town has brought you is a choice that you haven't had in years past. So what has the town done on your behalf? They've purchased energy for the next 36 months at 10,287, but they're bringing you a choice. This choice comes with a little hook. If you don't make a choice, you'll automatically be enrolled. So that's the term opt-out aggregation, meaning that if you don't wish to participate, you need to opt out or sign the card and stick it in the self-addressed stamped envelope and send it back. If you wish to participate, you don't need to do a thing. You'll seamlessly be moved on your November meter read to a new supplier. There'll be a single line item up on the transmission side saying that you're being switched to a supplier, Dynergy Energy. It's most likely you're going to say Dynergy / Easton Ag, which will notify you that you're being switched. You won't see it on your bill until December. We use the energy first and then we pay for it. So that's kind of the way things are set up currently. But if you are wondering why you didn't receive an opt-out notification, you should grab your National Grid bill and take a look in the bottom and see who your supplier is. Or if a long time ago you may have, let's just say, put a block on your, so you didn't receive any of these terrible phone calls and mailings. You're going to put a block on so that nobody switches your account. Those people, we don't receive those accounts. Or if you are on National Grid's Green Up program, again, they consider that you've made a choice, so we don't receive that the information to mail to. So if you haven't, more likely than not, you're on a third-party supply or maybe on Green Up. That doesn't mean that you're not eligible to join this program. You certainly can do it at any time. And again, this is one of the excellent features of the program. You can come and go from this program at any time without fee or penalty. So let's just say, so we now know that National Grid's basic service rate this coming winter is going to be 12,388. So we know that you're about just over 2 cents under the basic service rate. So we know for the next 6 months, you're going to be guaranteed savings. Say you get into that and you say, I'm not comfortable with the program. You can go online, call Colonial Power Group at 866-485-5858, extension 1, opt out of the program. You can also always sign that card and send it back in to get out of the program. That comes without fee or penalty. But let's just say next winter the rate is like it was last winter, $13.9, and I want to go back to the town program. You can join the town program again without fee or penalty. You never have to worry about that. There are no fees or penalties, and you can come and go. Believe it, almost every other month if you wanted to, but we can only switch you on the meter read. So always expect it might take a meter read cycle or two, because normally someone gets their bill, then they look at it and make a call. Well, we wouldn't be able to enroll you or de-enroll you until the following month. So just be careful of that. But other than that, you should be able to get in and out of the program without much to do at all. No one here is going to be trying to hold you in the program. The town has literally brought you a choice that you haven't had in the past. I do want to say, because we do not know that National Grid's rates are going to be going forward, this program cannot guarantee savings. I can tell you what the averages have been. So the 5-year average for National Grid's basic service rate for the residential customer is 10,877 over the past 5 years. Over the last 3 years, it's been 11,9. So you can see that, it's a very advantageous rate, and given if we use 600 kilowatts and we say the 12.3 is going to be the National Grid rate, and you have the 10.2, you're probably over the next 6 months or so, the Department of Public Utilities says use 600 kilowatts. It's about $12 a month that you'd save. So, maybe around, 6 months or so, you're going to have around $72 in savings. So that's just the next 6 months. We don't know what the rate will be in May. So I just want to warn you that, we don't have a crystal ball, but you have a stable rate that should not change at any point over the next 36 months, and Dynegy will be your supplier. I just want to make sure I hit a couple of other issues here, and then I'm happy to take all the questions people have. So if you have a community solar program or solar panels, those things are going to work seamlessly with the program. I want to explain the solar panel issue if it's on your roof, because it does enhance the benefit of the program. So I'm going to use this winter because we know the rates, and then I'm going to just use an example. So this winter, if you had solar panels on your roof and you were producing solar, National Grid is always going to credit you basic service. So National Grid will credit you the 12,388 all winter. Yet what you'll be paying for supply is simply the 10,287. So you'll receive that delta as a benefit, because they're also going to credit you the higher amount. The knife cuts both ways. So let's say that next summer the same scenario exists. Your rate is going to be 287 that you're going to be paying, but let's say that the rate was as low as it was this summer, which is 9,898. So you'd be paying the 10,287, yet National Grid would be crediting you at the 9,898 rate, which would be a slight disadvantage. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. I'm trying to think. Mass Save, no effect. You can use Mass Save. Call them for your energy audits. Get them out, for lights, windows, insulation, the old refrigerators, things of that nature that you're used to dealing with them on. Denise, I'm wondering, I'm sure I've missed things.
Well, first there was a question on the Q&A about NextAmp. So you covered that, solar and solar credits. So I think, Dana, if we didn't adequately answer your question, please shoot us another question. But I think Mark just spoke about solar panels on the roof and community solar. So I think we have that one covered. Just maybe Mark mentioned there's an optional rate that's 100% National Wind Recs. If anyone would like to opt up into that, that's 100% renewable option. That's at 10377. So everybody's automatically being enrolled in the town's standard product, which, like Mark said, is the 10287. That meets Massachusetts renewable portfolio standards, but the town did want to put a 100% green product out there. It's a national green product. So you can go on Colonial's website, you can call Dynegy, and you can opt up to that product for a little more money if you want a little additional renewable energy content. So that's available as well.
So there's another question. Dana had a second question.
Sure.
So the basic service rate and the standard product are identical. They meet RPS, which is in total, it's 28% renewable in 2020. That comes with 18%. 1 second here, I want to make sure I'm stating this correct. Comes with 16% in 20 and 18% in 2021, and it steps up to 22% in 2022. So that's for the mass class ones. But the standard product is going to match basic service. If you're looking for something greener, the town does have that option of the National Wind, which will cover 100% of your usage.
I just, the other thing, right, competitive supply, you mentioned if you don't get a letter, if you have a block on your account or you're with National Grid Green Up, if you're with a competitive supplier, you can certainly opt into the program. If you're a resident, you just want to check with the competitive supplier, make sure you don't have an early termination fee for leaving, but you can certainly opt in. You just wouldn't have been mailed the letter because you're not on basic service, but you're certainly eligible to opt in if you so choose. So that's available.
Denise, great point. Anyone that you're speaking to, if they wanted to join, if they're on third party, that's a big point that I just want to thank you again, Denise. I just want to repeat that. So we don't want you to just automatically leave your supplier. Call and find out if there's a fee or penalty, but lots of times you've been with the supplier past your contract and you can just leave. That's not a problem. You don't have to, just so you know, you don't have to tell them you're leaving. If you wanted to leave and join this, if you join this program, it will automatically send a disconnect to them. So the drop will automatically go to them, and then on your next meter read, you'll be enrolled in this program. Just so that you know, there'll never be with a program like this, there's never a break in service, so you don't need to worry about any of that. It's simply going to be an accounting thing on the back side. So you don't need to worry that your lights will go out or you won't have power for a day or two. That won't happen with this program.
Mark, there's another question from Dana there. Not sure I followed coal, nuclear, so system mix. So Mark, you mentioned the LPS requirement. I guess what's the balance of the system mix for Eversource and the standard product?
For the biggest, kind of for better than 80%, we have nuclear and natural gas. So natural gas is like 60%, and nuclear is normally, it hovers around 20%, and then a bunch of renewables mix in. Believe it or not, there's really not much coal left in ISO New England, which is a wonderful thing. But I'm trying to think. Actually, I don't believe since Brayton Point shut down, I don't even think anyone has a peaker. No, there isn't any coal that I'm aware of left on ISO New England's system. They're just not. It's not economically viable any longer. But still a good amount of natural gas. Nuclear doesn't come with any carbon, but it has its own issues on as far as waste goes and how we get rid of that.
This is Michael Blanch again. Just to our attendees, if you do have any further questions, now's a good time to type them in. We don't want to keep anyone too long, so at some point, if questions don't come in, we'll end this info session. But we'll give a couple more minutes if somebody's typing in now.
And in case, Michael, just so people know, it's anyone that's on basic service. So if there happens to be a small business, it's commercial, industrial as well, and the rate stays the same, it's still it's still a 10287, regardless of whether it's a commercial or industrial account. Everyone in the town that's on basic services should have gotten this mailing if they're on basic service. So I guess from an informational standpoint, All of this information sits on colonialpowergroup.com's website. If you just choose our communities and you choose Easton, everything you need is there, as well as an opt-in and opt-out button. If you have your National Grid bill handy, I don't think it would take you more than 3 or 4 minutes to fill out whether you're opting in or opting out. It wouldn't take any time at all to do either.
All right, well, it's been just about 5 minutes since our last question. So I don't know if Mark or Denise, if you have any closing thoughts, anything you just wanted to reiterate, and then just in the interest of time, we can end the info session unless something else comes in.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd like to mention, only because I do expect the mailings and phone calls to start, nobody from this program will be trying to reach out in that fashion. We will not be mailing anything further. We will be not calling you. So lots of people hear about aggregations and they know people start to get educated. So they try to use that as a trap, but you can rest assured we're not going to be reaching out. It is a town program. I'm not saying that you won't see things on the website, on the town website or our website, but normally you will not be hearing from us from a solicitation standpoint. But we do expect in October and November the barrage to start.
All right, great. Well, no new questions have come in. So Denise and Mark, we really appreciate your time. And to those in attendance or who might be watching this later, if you have any other questions after this, don't hesitate to reach out. The town's contact information and Colonial Power's contact information is on both the Town of Easton energy aggregation website, which can be linked right from our homepage, or as Mark pointed out, going to Colonial Power and selecting Easton, and all the information is there as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out. All right, great. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Appreciate it. And everyone have a good rest of the day.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.